My name is Jim Makachuk, and I wrote and directed a feature film in 1980 called Ghost Keeper. It was kind of a suspense thriller, and it played for a while, and eventually it just sort of disappeared the way those kind of movies do, and I thought that would be the last I've ever seen of it. But a couple of years ago, I found out that there was some people from Germany who had a VHS copy, and they were playing it. It wasn't very good, but it started to form a fan base. And then after that, I got some people from England who wanted to interview me about The Ghost Keeper. And this was a movie that was over 30 years old. It was kind of strange, but yet exciting. So I said, sure. And that led to a screening in Toronto of a very bad print, but people liked it anyways, and that went well. And then I got back to Los Angeles, and I got a phone call from a distributor in Seattle, and he found two 35mm prints in New York, and he wanted to do a DVD. In his words, a 30th anniversary DVD. And I said, fine, that's great. And so I got a couple of actors and myself. We did a commentary, and it was quite amazing after all these years to see each other and also to see how everybody had aged. But I had thought about the story, and I thought, well, you know, I should do a sequel. And then other things started happening. But before I go there, I'd like you to see a clip. I've got a short 2-minute clip of Ghost Keeper so you can get a feel of the story, and then I'll talk to you some more. Hi, my name is Jim Makachuk, and I wrote and directed a feature film called Ghost Keeper back in 1980, 33 years ago. The movie played a bit, and then it sort of disappeared the way those movies do, and it was forgotten for a long time. But about 3-4 years ago, I found out that there were some people from Germany who had a VHS copy, and they were passing it around, and it actually was the beginning of a fan base. And then after that, I got some people from England who wanted to do interviews on The Ghost Keeper, which was really strange after all these years. But I did the interviews, and that led to a screening in Toronto, and that was a pretty good screening as well. But there was more to happen. I came back to Los Angeles, and I got a phone call from a distributor in Seattle, and he said that he had found two 35mm prints of Ghost Keeper somewhere in storage in New York, and I had no idea there were any of the prints that were left. But anyways, the thing he wanted to do is to make a 30th anniversary sort of DVD. And I said, that's fine with me. So I got a hold of a couple of actors, and we did some commentary, and it happened. And it came out in May of 2012, and as far as I know, they're still being sold. And so from that, I decided that maybe this is a good chance to do a sequel for it. But before I show you that, I'd like to show you about a 2-minute clip of Ghost Keeper, just so that you get the feeling of it, because it's an interesting movie, shot in snow, shot in wintertime in Alberta. So have a look at this. Hi, my name is Jim Makachuk, and I wrote a feature film in 1980 called Ghost Keeper. It was a suspense thriller, and it came and went, as they say. You know, it played a few theaters, and then it just disappeared the way those movies do. I'd forgotten all about it. But back about 3 years ago, I had found out there was a fan base in Europe, primarily in Germany and England, and that led to some interviews for magazines in England. And that led to a screening of the movie in Toronto. And then I got back home, and I get a call from a distributor who has found 2 copies, 35mm prints in New York in storage. And he asked me if he could do a 30th anniversary for the DVD. And I said, of course. So I got 2 of the actors in the movie and myself, and we did commentary. And it was a lot of fun, and it worked out very well. And so after that, I began to think, Well, maybe, how about a sequel? If people seem to have some interest in the original, I'd sure like to do the sequel again. I'd like to show you, before I talk about that, I'd like to show you a bit of Ghost Keeper so that you can see the mood and the feeling of the original one. So this clip is about 2 minutes, and it's Ghost Keeper shot in 1980 in the wintertime in snow in Canada. Hi, my name is Jim Makachuk, and I wrote a feature film back in 1980 called Ghost Keeper. It was sort of a supernatural thriller. The movie played, and then after a while it just sort of disappeared the way those movies do, and that was it for me. I never thought I'd hear about it again. But a couple of years ago, I found out that there was a small fan base in Germany based on a VHS copy that was really awful. And so I decided to find out more. That led to England, and I've got some requests to do interviews on Ghost Keeper. Now, this is after 30 years. It really surprised me. But what surprised me again is that they had a screening of the film in Toronto, and they asked me to come, and of course I did. And after that, I got to Los Angeles, and I got a phone call from a distributor who said that he had found two 35mm prints in New York. I had no idea that there were any prints around. But anyways, what he wanted to do with them is a DVD. And I said, that's fine. It'd be a 30th anniversary DVD. So I got a couple of actors and myself, and we did a commentary and some interviews, and it went very well. The DVD came out in May of 2012. And then after that, I thought, well, you know, this might be a good idea for a sequel. But before I tell you that, I'd like to show you a clip of the Ghost Keeper so that you can sort of get a feel of it and see what it's like. So this is the Ghost Keeper from 1980.